Right, where were we? You would. So yeah, someone's saying, "Come this way," and Terrance was saying, "Do the antibodies have human voices?" So yeah, you sort that one out.
Is it possible for Marius to look in on a thermal camera in the maintenance hub or something like that to see if there's human activity?
Yes, give me a roll.
Yeah. Let's see, 2d6. I've rolled a 5 on my occupation roll.
Well done.
They are human. You can identify 3 human shapes in that sort of space in the middle of the maintenance ducts.
Good. Terrance, they're human. It's fine. Mir, there's 3 people in there. We're coming. Let us in.
Yeah. So you can come through the maintenance hatch and you will emerge into this area. There are 3 of them there. So there is a sort of large butch-looking woman who is repairing a pipe at the moment. There is a woman with sort of short, silvery hair and glasses. She is stirring some sort of food, maybe soup. And there's an older man who is checking some equipment.
Thank God. It's good to see you. The antibody tried to kill us. Marius Bishop, sorry. Nice to meet you. My colleagues, Dr. Drummond and...
I know. Hi, Marius. I'm back with.
I don't believe we've met. I'm the systems engineer.
Oh, yes. And you know Dipesh, and this is Jan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Come in. Make yourself useful.
Yeah. Shit. Can we lock this hatch? What happened here?
They don't come after us.
But they come after
not?
us.
Why aren't they coming after you?
I haven't worked that out yet. But for the moment, or maybe they haven't found us here. One of them.
Do you mind if I give you a quick physical examination to determine whether there's anything that may set you apart from those they've killed?
No, as long as it's not going to interfere with what I'm doing. Mia, I just want you to give you a chance. So, who would you like to go and talk to? Would you like to go and talk to Soup Woman or sort of older gentleman who's doing stuff with equipment?
She's so upset. Bridgett is so upset. There's so much going on.
Well, in that case, Soup Woman will wave you across and go, come on, sit down.
I'm so sorry. Emotionally, I am not reconciling how nonchalant you're being about this particular situation. Emotionally, I'm not making the leap. I'm sorry.
We're not nonchalant. We've just lived through this.
How long have you lived through this? When did this start happening?
And at that, she sort of looks a bit confused and goes, I don't, my memory's a bit hazy. I remember you, though. You and your friend used to play that game.
Her brows furrow for a bit. That's not what she needed in this particular moment, so I'm going to go ahead and take a change check, please, and thank you. It's just as more of an emotional check. Yep. Dylan. His name was Dylan.
I like Dylan. Head ball.
Yeah.
Head stick.
Head stick. It was, yeah. We were just dropped off here 30 minutes ago, and I am feeling echoes of remembering things about this ship, but I don't remember it at all.
Oh, but you say that, Bridgett. Yeah, you do.
Yeah, but I don't. Graham, I don't want to.
But, you know, the more you kind of, you know, as you're saying, you don't remember it. Well, actually, it does seem familiar. And actually, yeah, you kind of do have this memory of growing up on the quarters in this ship. Like, even as a child, you have a memory of, like, it's more than just familiar. You can, you know, it's coming back to you now.
Are we all getting these memories, or is Terrance?
No, I think Terrance is immune for the moment.
Yeah.
He would be.
Good. It probably involves empathy.
Right. He doesn't connect with that well. I think she's going to stagger and put her shoulders up against the door, and she's going to do that thing where she slowly is going to, like, as the memories are washing over her, kind of slide down to her knees. And I think she's going to call out the name of the soup that this woman is making, because she remembers that I kind of like wedding soup, right? Like they used to make on Earth.
Wedding soup. And she gives you a bowl of the soup.
What is happening to us right now?
Are you experiencing anomalous memories?
It would be too much for me to look you in the face and just have you ask me how I'm doing, wouldn't it? That's just outside. Are we past that point? Are you past that point?
We are past that point, because as comforting as that may be at the moment, it is very unlikely to provide us with any answers about what is going on and a possible path to survival. If you prefer, I can try to connect with your emotions and provide you with some comfort while we all suffer what will probably be a terrible death. Or I can disconnect myself from what is going on to the extent where I may be able to provide us with a path for survival. Which would you prefer?
I would prefer that you stopped speaking to me in this particular moment, Dr. Drummond. And yes, your original diagnosis is correct.
Although, Bridgett, I mean, how much do you trust this guy?
Dr. Drummond?
Yeah.
I mean, I actually trust the bots outside more than him. No. It's not that bad. She's heartbroken, but I don't think... trust is such a tricky word here, Graham. I trust that he is going to look out for himself and make a scientific decision or approach on everything that he does. And I trust him to lean into his ego.
And does Mia think she's suffering from anonymous memories?
Yeah. It's the only thing that makes sense in this particular moment.
And which set of your memories of childhood do you think are anomalous?
Oh, don't make her choose. Don't break her heart like that.
Well, you don't have to, but I mean, even as you're thinking, this idea that you grew up on a planet called Carl.
No, it started with an S.
Carl. Yeah. This sort of like idyllic forest planet.
Yeah, but she can't remember any of the trees on it. And she can't remember what it smells like.
Yeah.
Okay. They were brought home then, or maybe they never left. I'm going to go ahead and take a change roll just for that realization. With a 2, she is reconciling that a lot easier than Bridgett is. Are there any other survivors that you're aware of, or is it just you 3?
Dipesh speaks up, and he goes, my daughter, she thought she had a way to combat the antibodies. She went to the labs. I don't know. She might still be there. She might have died.
Where are the labs?
They're up on the corporate level. 2 levels above.
You can't access the cameras there or anything like that?
You could try. They might find us if you did.
Oh. I wish we had Astro. Is Dipesh the person who was working on equipment, or is that somebody else?
Yeah, so he was checking equipment, right? Sort of ropes and things. He's sort of making them. I'm sure.
Yeah, now that
he's getting ready for... You go, sorry.
Oh, now that he's in the conversation, I kind of want to look over his shoulder just to see what he's working on, like what kind of components he's working with.
Oh, so actually his equipment is, he was just sort of testing ropes and things like that. Going for an expedition, if you want to help. We all need to pitch in.
Like a rescue mission for your daughter?
I want to see what's happened to her, and we'll do some salvage along the way.
Yeah, I think we just need like an hour, I think, to process what's going on here. When are you going out?
We'll go out shortly. We can wait now.
While we're waiting, let me just do some examinations. I'll use myself as a control subject, as I seem to be unaffected by whatever's going on here, and then test each of you.
Oh, so sorry. Are you doing a roll of some sort? Or?
I absolutely am. Sorry, I'm just getting my dice roller ready. So I think this is important enough that I'm going to bring my insight die insight. But I'm going to bring my change die in immediately. And my change die is the only one I didn't roll a 6 on.
There you go. Well, let's have you. So, is this a talking conversation, or are you talking or examining?
I think it's a combination of the way the examination takes place. Is I am conducting physical tests, so I'm taking blood samples and doing scans of primarily people's brains, but generally, physical scans. At the same time, I am going to just talk to people in what appears to be a manner of small talk, but just asking them questions about childhood memories and stuff like that. And just seeing, well, and also because it seems like people here are having memories of knowing each other, just trying to establish who remembers meeting who when and things like that, and just see whether I can build up a picture of what's going on.
All right. And are you examining Marius and Mir, or the others?
Both. I'm examining everyone, and as I said, I'm using myself as a control subject because clearly I am unaffected and can be used as a baseline.
So at this point, there's a really nasty rationality thing that we can do, I think, which is that
nice.
you're going to sort of talk to all these others, and so I'm not quite sure what Mir and Marius will tell you, but the others sort of tell you this story of growing up on board the Transparency. So the Transparency sort of travelled much slower than the Exchange. Left about 20 years before the Exchange, but then travelled even slower. And its mission was to sort of terraform planets near the glitch, and then the survivors' memories get a bit hazier. And if you want to press them, I'm very happy. For the moment.
What about Terrance gives you any idea that he might not press them?
That's good. So we can go down the pressing for the moment, and we can go down the pressing in a moment. But then their memories get a bit hazier. They have sort of individual memories, of being confined to their quarters, and the antibodies kind of rushing around the ship as though there was something very wrong. They have this memory of sort of sudden gold glow and things, sort of this feeling of sort of compression and crushing or expansion all at once. And this was all as it got closer to the glitch. And then life went on, and everyone ate and slept, and sometimes people disappeared. And I think what might occur to Terrance, especially on that 6, is that everyone else except him is telling a very coherent story of how you all grew up together, including Terrance, right? That they will say that they remember Terrance. And what's got to occur to Terrance, surely, is that his is the only one whose story doesn't fit.
Yeah. So I think there is a bit of cognitive dissonance going on within Terrance's brain, where his natural arrogance, I guess, is telling him that clearly his memory is the only one that can be trusted. But at the same time, the scientific data is indicating otherwise. And at the moment, I think ego is still winning out, but there are these nagging doubts that it is taking consistently more and more effort for Terrance to stamp down.
Yeah. Because, if false memories are that convincing, right, then your memories of the Exchange could actually be false.
But on the other hand, I mean, Terrance is a medic. He's an incredibly overqualified medic, and he knows what a mutable, tangible, unreliable thing memory is.
Absolutely, yeah.
You see in all the spectacular ways in which memory can fade and be corrupted and go wrong. So
you can build these whole complex backstories for yourself that seem very real but actually aren't.
Yes, which is clearly what everyone else has done. And
what everyone else has done. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to roll. Actually.
It's lovely. I really like that. Yeah.
Terrance is okay with this. One
right. Okay. Are you using your loaded change die again?
I just love the number of times I've rolled a 1. For any time Terrance is threatened by anything, any existential doubts or anything like that, I roll a 1.
Same number of times I've rolled a 6, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. After Terrance interviews us, can Marius do kind of a private reality check? If you're willing to let him have like a photo of him and his mother, and maybe Mir and Dylan were there too on a nature reserve in Carly, kind of something that he carries with him, a memory of his mother. If he could like look for that in his jumpsuit, see if is it still there? Is it the same? Like, did this really happen?
Yeah.
That's dope, Cupp.
That's nice. Give me a roll to find the photograph, I think, and you know what's going to happen.
Okay, that's just a single roll, but I'd like to add my change die to it.
Sure,
right.
sure.
So 2.
Way to lean in.
This is important. Oh fuck! I rolled 6 on my change die.
Yeah,
of course I did.
Well, you've found the photograph now. I'll let you go from there.
Okay, so I found the photograph, and then do you want me to immediately roll the change die on the 6?
Oh yeah, let's do a change roll now. Yeah.
Okay. Oh God, come in low. Okay, a 3. So I rolled under. So the photo was it was actually taken at nighttime. So all the features of everyone, their faces and everything aren't distinct. They were looking through a telescope kind of into the night sky from the nature reserve. And he doesn't remember who took the photo, but he remembers that his mother wrote something on the back. It was like a verse from Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So he's going to turn it over to see if it still says that on the back. It's when the blazing sun is gone, when he nothing shines upon, then you show your little light, twinkle, twinkle all the night.
Well, I think at this point it doesn't say that on the back, right? So whatever is in your head that should be written on the back of the photograph is no longer there.
Ooh. Do I have to roll another change die, or is that kind of riding the last one?
Okay. I don't think we get riding change rolls in this game.
I think barely audible. Terrance and Mir are going to hear him going, trying to remember it. When the blazing sun is gone. Like just kind of singing it creepily to himself.
Yeah. And Mir, Terrance, Mir, you will recognize this song which you heard in your childhood.
I rolled a 6. Fuck.
Yeah.
So you're up to 5 now.
I'm up to 5, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Broken by Twinkle Twinkle.
In fact, Marius, as you start singing, everyone around you will start singing this same very familiar song, which they all learned on the board.
Oh wow!
Because I just love that. So can we just all, and they'll just love a little moment of song. So they'll just sing along and just sing a verse. And
that's disconcerting. Okay, and does the other side of the photograph look like Carly, or does it look like the ship?
The more you look at it, so it doesn't look like the ship, right? And I think what we're doing with the sentence in your head is we're saying that in some, I don't know, it's anyway. But I'm not even sure I can get through all the double negatives in my head.
Yeah.
But so we're not saying the photo has been erased. We're saying somewhere your memory is not matching with what's on the photo.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So no, when you look at the photograph, there is a woman standing next to someone that looks like you on some forested planet. Is that real?
It doesn't even look like my memory of my mother?
No.
Jesus Christ. I'm just going to keep rolling change till I'm at 6.
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah.
Could I, I'm trying to think like of a way to do this more dangerously, but I think that my instinct would be to like maybe take my little welding torch and set the photo on fire.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because the reality check isn't what I wanted it to be, so I think that's really going to upset him, and he's going to try to burn the evidence of the photo.
Oh, that's great. And at that point, I think backwards across so the sort of book when we'll look at you and go, "Don't burn that!" And everyone will look at you and things will freeze, and then you will hear a distant whirring sound.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Yep.
Oh,
He's just got the torch. Then you show your little light.
Whining, whirring sound, very distant at the moment.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I got confused. Kind of put the torch back in his suit.
Dipesh is getting the equipment and giving you each a roll of rope and saying, "We need to go now."
Wait. Just one more question. We saw bodies that had mutated in some type of way. It looked like they either had a wasp hive or some type of strange mutation. What? Do you know anything about those?
we can discuss this as we move.
It might be relevant now.
So might staying alive.
But the survivors do look hazily at you, and one of them goes, "There was some event, but I can't remember."
Yes. There was a gravitational catastrophe. People were torn apart. There was fire, death. We can discuss the details later. It's not important now. What's important now is surviving the next few minutes. Let's move.
And you do. And so you will go through the maintenance ducts, and we'll leave you just above the living quarters, actually, because you're going to travel up, and so there's a hatch in the a hatch sort of just below the living quarters, which you'll go up into in a moment. And yeah, there you are. You're just below the living quarters.
What's the name of the wedding soup woman? Do we have a name for her?
It's Jan, and she goes, and no, Marius, you know this, right? It's called wedding soup.
Yeah. Jan, did you know my mom?
Of course I knew you, Mum.
Before you say anything else, Bishop, what was his mother's name?
You're asking Jan.
Jan, yeah.
Jan will say a name, which so she will say Crystal, which Marius, you will at the moment your memory will be telling you that is your mother's name. It's not the name of your mother on Carly.
I was about to say,
okay.
I take it Terrance being able to remember Carly might actually. I guess the big question is whether he was ever interested enough in Bishop to learn his mother's name.
Well, I think you might remember she called your mother because you were picking on him.
Yes, I mean, that is absolutely fascinating. But, Bishop, your mother wasn't named Crystal. We are seeing some sort of...
No, she was.
She wasn't. I think it was Mary Martha. It was one of the M's anyway. But
no, remember I made the crystal pin and gave it to Dylan because he. After she died.
I just remember because it started with the same MAR as your name, which I don't know. It just struck me as lazy. It stuck in my
No, I made the fucking pin and gave it to Dylan, Terrance. The crystal after she died.
Yes. Anyway, this is all very interesting.
Mir, the pin, you know.
I remember the pin, and your mother's name was Crystal.
Yeah.
Come on, we need to get up. We need to go.
And let's, if we're going to continue this conversation, let's do it as we explore. So you will come up into this deserted, slightly wrecked living area, which seems very familiar. And I think so. There's there's the sleeping quarters. You might want to think about where you're going. Of course, you might. I think you're generally heading upwards. So. There's the laboratories where Dipesh's daughter was, and then there's the computer core will be in the server room right at the top if you want that.
Well, we definitely want to go to the laboratories. Because apart from anything else, I want to talk to Dipesh's daughter and see what she's been working on. Also, if there are laboratories there, I might be able to perform an autopsy or two, and I like doing that.
Why not? I just want to do a bit with you, Bridgett. So, so you'll be. Where are you going in the living quarters? Where would Bridgett like to go?
Mir doesn't want to experience any more of this ship than she already is. So this is going to be one of those things like, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to see it. I don't want any recollection. Where's the hatch that gets us up to the next level? Let's focus in on that.
Yep. That's perfect. So you'll go through the living quarters, but you're trying to ignore it.
Yeah, tunnel vision it.
And at that point, there'll be just a voice through your communicator that goes,
"Hello, Mir."
She is going to stop, and she's going to abruptly turn around and lock eyes with Dr. Drummond and Marius to see if they caught that that communique as well.
Welcome home.
Who is this?
This is Diana.
I don't know if this will come to a surprise to you or not, Diana, but I don't know who you are.
But the thing is, Mir, you do. This is the ship's computer.
Nope, it's not, because the ship's computer wouldn't be talking to me. I don't do computer stuff. And Diana doesn't sound familiar to me, except I know her voice. Hi, Diana. Do you have something for me?
You're standing by Dylan's room.
No, I'm not. She has to look. She doesn't want to, but she has to look.
Well, yeah, so you and Dylan had rooms opposite each other on the transparency, right? This is coming back to you now. I mean, there's not stuff in it there, but you remember the shape of the room. You remember, you remember the little cot and the low, the not very much headroom. You remember Dylan's room.
I think before she's even cognizant of it, she's just like in the door frame with like her hand on the wall looking into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Diana, is he alive? Is he here?
And there's no response to that.
And I think she's just going to throw a look over at Marius's shoulder. That's just over her shoulder at Marius. It's just super heartbroken and pitiful. And this was Dylan's room.
What? No.
Dylan, this was his room. It was right across the hall from mine.
What? Dylan's never been here. Do I believe that?
It all seems a bit hazy. Yeah.
Okay.
You could definitely remember. Imagine him being here. Yeah.
I don't think he's ever been here. You went on more missions with him than I did.
No, I'm not talking about the missions, Marius. I'm talking about this was his childhood bedroom. Look, and then suddenly she's completely derailed from all of the intentionality that she had 5 seconds ago. That was like go, 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 go. And she is dead set on finding something that she can pick up in this room to prove, like, no, look, it's Dylan's bedroom. It's his childhood bedroom.
Nothing you can pick up, right? But yeah, there is a little ledge. I mean, it's not meant to be a ledge. It's just a sort of little recess. But that's where he kept his stick. His carved stick he used to have? That's where he kept it.
Oh, wait, it's worth quick.
Yeah.
Remember, quick would sit here. Remember? You hung this shelf, Marius.
I think I remember quick, but no, we played headstick outside. This is a spaceship, Mir. How would you play inside?
I don't know.
Well, how would you not play it? I mean, the rules are about like bouncing off walls and things. I mean, of course you play it inside, right?
Oh.
Oh.
No.
But where would you get Shimmerite on a ship. How did they make the ball? Fuck. We did play inside. The cargo containers were the base, I think. Remember?
Yeah.
You had to hit it into the opening. Then that one time we made the decoy, remember?
Oh, God. Yeah. You built it.
And Dylan dropped it and they fell for it. And then you just, God, that was awesome.
Oh, God. Yeah. And at this point, she doesn't even realize that she's sitting on the bed in full reminiscence mode right now. Again, completely. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take my change die for her dissociating right now because she is completely not here. And she's okay with it, apparently. With a 1 under her current 3.
You almost scored and then the ship turned. Wait. I'm going to roll 1 too, I think. Just to see if I get a 6. Which I hope I don't at this point. Okay, I have a 4.
Yeah.
And just going back to a couple of things here, right? So, I mean, Marius, let's start with you. So, I mean, one of your most painful memories was your mother when you were about 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
But there must be a real sense of relief at this idea of you grew up on the transparency, because that must be not true.
That's right. Yeah.
Doesn't that feel better? That's been haunting you for ages.
Yeah, I wonder if Crystal's alive. My real mother. Maybe this was just all bullshit from the treatments they gave us. Maybe that never happened. She never got sick. I never neglected to forgive her before she died. This never happened. And then I'm going to give Mira a hug. Mira, she didn't die. She never died. She's still alive. Depeche, is Crystal here?
And Depeche will look at you and go, I don't know. A lot of people died. And then he looks confused exactly how they died. It's like, a lot of people just aren't here anymore. Mia, let's just come to you for a moment. So the problem you have, right, is that if you grew up on God's transparency, then Dylan might be alive. But you know that really precious memory you've got of, you're in the playground and Dylan invites you outside to play headstick for the first time. I mean, that's got to be true, right? You love that memory.
It's her favorite memory.
That's a memory on Carly. That's really precious to you.
Carly, that's the name of that planet. That's right. It's just... I think she's going to sit there on the bed. She's going to pull her feet under her where, they're crossed, and she's going to put her hands in her lap. And I think she's going to try to ping Diana again. Diana, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I just want to do Terrance really quickly as well, so we can do the conversation with Diana. And Terrance, so what's Terrance doing at the moment? Is he exploring sleeping quarters, or what's he doing?
No, I think he is looking for... Yeah, he's looking for a way up to the next level. He doesn't care about the living quarters. He's just trying to find his way to the laboratories.
Yeah. So you go through the sleeping areas. There will be there are some sort of travelators beyond the sleeping areas which go up to the corporate level where the laboratories are. What I wanted to say to Terrance was, you know that very painful memory you have of 6 months of looking for work. Does that seem likely to you? Like someone of your ability?
Yeah. Of course I would have been able to find a job immediately. No one else has the kind of qualifications I do.
I love that his memory's about finding a job.
That's your most painful memory. Well, job hunting.
Yep.
They didn't pick up my resume off of Indeed. I was hurt.
It's even better if you think that his childhood was filled with objective tragedy, but that's his most painful memory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. But he's learned to filter all that stuff out. This was a real blow to his ego.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, come on, where are we? Oh, you got to, oh, sorry, Terrance.
No, I think now that you brought that up, I mean, Terrance has been going around looking for a way up into the laboratory and so on, but now that thought's come to him, he's sitting down and going through this existential crisis of, well, that did happen, but it would be nice if it didn't, but then it wouldn't be real. And is it better to feel authentic pain or to live it with a comforting lie? And I think this is the kind of thing that cracks through his defenses and actually gets to the heart of what hurts him. So I am going to make a change roll for that.
Mm-hmm. And Diana will talk to you now, Miss. So
I'm here.
Sitting on the edge of my seat looking for this roll. God damn it!
I rolled another 1 on a change roll.
Amazing.
Doesn't give a fuck.
Can you roll against people for a failure dice? Is that a thing on their insight?
Yeah, he was so
Is that a thing?
impressed by his own thinking that he got past the potential trauma.
He is sitting down right now, waist deep in trauma with the rest of us. Mechanically speaking, I think it would be more interesting if he failed this roll. Can I roll against him?
kind of no. I like the idea. This could be a new rule. Yeah.
just for Scott's characters, though.
Just like the rule that Cupp's character dies 2/3 of the way through the event.
Every episode. Yeah.
Don't worry, we're coming up on it.
Oh God.
Diana, what do you want us to do next?
Actually, I want to have this conversation on the move, right? So are we heading to the laboratories a bit?
Oh,
I think so.
So you'll be going up.
Yeah.
You'll be going out these sort of vast, empty travelators and it's huge extractor logos all around you, and this sort of reception area. There'll be some doors and things you'll have to get past in a moment. So as you're traveling up, Diana will go.
I'm here.
what do you want from us, Diana? I know you want something.
I just want you to come home.
Clarify home.
Back to the transparency.
Can you identify our current location?
You're on the travelators heading to the corporate level. I can see you.
Can I connect you with Marius and Dr. Drummond?
I'm talking to you, Mia.
Bridgett was very uncomfortable with that, so I'm just going to go ahead and roll a change die right now.
Nice.
With a 2, she's going to maintain.
I mean, if you want to sort of figure out what Diana wants and stuff through the conversation, I'm really open to a role for that. But if you ask her what she wants, then she's going to be like,
oh, no. Listen, this is the first time technology isn't just outright emotionally bullying her. There's at least some give and take for today. Yeah, no, we're going to go for it.
Yeah, there's give and take in the emotional bullying, absolutely.
Right. There's some love here, a little bit here.
That's the worst thing, I think, yeah.
Diana's better than Terrance.
And also better than the bot that puts us to sleep. So,
right on the scale of evil.
Right. Diana's like, it's just at the bottom. So, by all means, I do not believe Mira is a specialist in this, but what she's going to do is roll 2d6 for her employee and her change.
That sounds good to me.
That's a 4 and a 5.
What was the 4 on?
4 was... Damn it!
Ordinary, right? No?
Yeah, 4 was employee and 5 was the change.
Okay.
I'll give you the roll here in a second. And she's going up.
So this is a really interesting one. I'm trying to think what to tell you, but Diana wants to make everything okay, right? So you sense that, Diana is sort of coming from a position of love and just wanting everyone to be happy on board her ship. And there obviously have been some very real disaster, and in some way she's trying to erase that and just everyone is trying to be happy on board her ship. And you got a 5, so you're connecting to extractor records at the same time. There are tales of ships' computers malfunctioning, and their duty to care for their ship going in a bit of a strange direction, which actually you might think was very harmful to people.
To the entire crew, apparently. Okay, Diana. We're coming home. I'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Is that conversation sub-vocalized, or had the rest of us heard Mir's side of it?
Bridgett wants to know that too.
Well, so you're on communicators, so you're talking. There's no reason you can't hear Mir's side if you want, I think. And also depends, Mir, if you're trying to be surreptitious.
No, with a current 4 on her change dice and a whole situation that just happened with Dylan, but no. And that's not in her nature anyways.
Is there something you'd like to share with the rest of the class, Mir?
It's very emotional. I don't know if you're going to actually be able to process or reconcile it.
Try me.
Do you remember the ship's computer, Diana?
Yes, you do.
Much as it pains me to say so, yes.
She's very happy to welcome us home.
Could you clarify home, Mir?
Specifying home. The transparency. Which, by the way, I know how crazy that sounds because that's allegedly the ship that we're on right now. But Mir completely understands.
Yeah. No, that's good. It's a good thing. It's good.
With Terrance's medical knowledge, if it were the ship that was affecting our memories, what method would it use to actually interfere with our brains like that? Would it be nanobots? Would it be a virus? Would it be some kind of electromagnetic manipulation?
Interesting. Well, you can give me a roll for that if you like.
That is such a sexy question.
Yeah, I'm going to bring my change die into this as well, because why not?
Get the 1 out.
Yeah, I got a 6 on my medical die.
Bravo.
Of course you did. And yeah, a form of electromagnetic manipulation, right? So the ship the ship can sense people's. The ship monitors people all the time and monitors their emotional state. It doesn't take much to sort of think that it might sort of start influencing their emotional state. It's not unknown for an extractor to implant and extract memories. It could probably do that remotely. So yeah, and I think even as you're realizing that, right, an absolute flood of the disaster will hit into your head. I mean, it's a very, very painful memory. People being ripped apart in front of you, being squeezed. I mean, you see someone ahead of you and then their head is just crushed in front of you. The ship is crushed and the antibodies kind of whizzing around, repairing everything.
My new working hypothesis, Marius, is that the ship has overcompensated for the disaster it faced. And I don't know whether it was trying to comfort the survivors or what's gone on, but I think it's tried to create a sense of home that is infecting us. The sooner we can stop this happening, the better, because I have a nasty feeling if we leave it too long, we may no longer feel the desire to do so.
That's a negative, Dr. Drummond.
What do you mean?
I don't believe that's what's happening. I think your hypothesis
Yes.
is false.
Yes, Bishop, but please don't take this the wrong way, but that's because you're an idiot.
Don't take that the wrong way.
Well, tell me,
you're an idiot.
how did you test this hypothesis, Drummond? It's just another one of your fucking inventions.
It is based upon the observable phenomena, and admittedly some subjective phenomena. There is definitely an attempt by something on board this ship to manipulate memory. And based on the conversation that Mir has just had with our shipboard computer, I would suggest that it is the shipboard computer.
Well, why don't you gather some evidence? Because I think your memory's the only one that's fucked up.
Well, let's use the scientific method here. Let us temporarily take the computer offline and then see if our memories start aligning again. Unless, of course, you have a better experiment you could run. I'm
guys
sure
are,
you don't.
We haven't talked about the antibodies in a while, and I just want to bring them back. So I think at that point you will see. Also, you're getting a bit too comfortable with having sort of prolonged conversations while just traveling up travelators. So everyone needs an antibody, Mir. So at that point there will be a whir on the level below you. This sort of whirring whine as an antibody just sort of passes the bottom of the travelators. And at that, the travelators, you'll come to the top level where the corporate, and this is this sort of corporate reception area. There are some sort of closed slidey doors, which in some way you'll have to get past. And beyond that is the corporate level.
Drummond, can you try to pull my mom's medical records? I think maybe that could help us test your hypothesis.
If we can do it while we're on the move, then yes, I would much rather get to the computer core as quickly as possible so that we don't die before we have a chance to.
Well, why don't you do that while I get these doors open?
Very well, but just don't dawdle.
Jesus Christ. And then I will try to open the doors, assuming that Terrance is going to listen and look for mom's records.
Give me a roll to open the door. Yeah, that's fine.
Sure. It's systems, right? So occupation.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
But I'm at a 5. I was going to say I want to add change because it's important, but I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a 3 on my ordinary and a 1 on my occupation.
Okay, so the doors grind and open. You've got them open enough to squeeze through if you want.
Okay. Yeah. All right, come on. Let's get inside before one of those fucking things shows up.
Can we actually postpone the mother's medical records because you're about to go into a load of like computers?
Oh yeah,
It's loading.
Yeah.
Has the wheel going.
Yeah. So what I'm saying actually is that, so here's the corporate area. There are executive officers. So you want to go and find out stuff about Extractor. There you go. Mm-hmm. There are the laboratories, medical laboratories, where maybe Dippish's daughter is. Somewhere on the other side, there will be the entrance to the server, which is right at the top. And the escape shuttles, but you wouldn't need those because, it's fine.
In which
Where will
case,
we escape to? We're already home.
in which case, Bishop, why don't you and Mir go up and try to at least temporarily take the computer offline? I will go to the laboratory, see if I can find Bishop's daughter there, and find out what she's found. And meanwhile, I'm sure in the laboratory I can try to find your mother's medical records.
Yeah, just one point of clarification, Drummond. You're looking for Crystal,
Oh,
Of course I am.
Good. Can you just repeat it back to me?
Yes, I am looking for Crystal Bishop and not Mary or Marianne or Margaret or whatever.
I feel like
Clearly-
the name Marius like just sneaks into Marius's brain because they used to get their names confused all the time, Marius and Damaris.
oh.
But then he kind of pushes it out.
Come on, Marius. Let's go.
So you two are going to, you're trying to cut through and get to the server room, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And Terrance, are you accessing medical records?
Well, I was going to the laboratory
Oh, sorry.
first of all.
Sorry,
I could find Depesh's daughter, and then once I'm there, I'll use the equipment there to search medical records.
Perfect. Sounds really good. Well, let's go with the laboratory thing first. So Terrance, the laboratories are up against the wall of the ship. There are sort of long, sterile corridors up here, and there are antibodies. You can hear the whirring all around you. What are you doing? You're just walking straight down the corridor? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think Terrance. Obviously, he's worried about the risks the antibodies pose, but at the same time, he knows he's got to get there and find out what's going on if we're going to have a chance for survival. So, yeah, I think what he's going to do is just walk down the corridor as casually as he can, as if it's the most natural thing in the world and there's nothing for the antibodies to worry about. And then if the antibodies start taking any interest in him at all, then he is going to run like fuck.
Cool. I mean, I think they would. Why would they? I think they would start taking an interest in you. So you walk down, and then you can hear the whirring, and then as your footsteps get closer, the whirring stops, and the whirring begins to come towards you.
Okay. In which case, yeah, I'll sprint the last, however long it is, to the corridor fast as I can.
Fantastic.
Sorry, to the laboratory, rather than the
Laboratories.
corridor.
Yeah. Give me a roll to get past the antibody.
Okay.
Can I roll against him?
You can roll a failure die if you want. I was about to.
I think if Cupp wants to.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I mean, I rolled a 2, so you got a very good chance here.
No, I tied you.
But no,
I rolled
you
a 2. Yeah,
So have you rolled a 2 as well, Cupp?
I did. Yes.
All right, so that's a bit of a tie. So I mean, Terrance, unless you want to roll again, I think what will happen is it will just catch you, so it will shoot out a spike. It's going to gash your leg quite nasty, like gouge it, but you will sort of slide into the laboratory, and so you'll be safe for a moment.
Okay, in which case I'll make a changed roll for the wound.
That is good. Let's go back to Mir. Let's go back to Mir and Marius quickly. So you're all watching the die rolls. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
It's delicious to watch.
Have you rolled a 1?
And no, I rolled a 4. I think that's entirely appropriate. That
Agreed.
Terrance
the
only
physical
takes
ones, yeah.
only takes change for physical ones. Yeah, anything
Yeah,
psychologically brushes off.
He's like, ah.
Yep.
That's cool. Okay, so let's go to Mir and Marius, and what you will notice is that you kind of. I don't know what you do. Are you just walking down the corridor? What are you doing?
We're trying to walk to the mainframe, the server room.
Yeah, get to the server room.
Yeah, just walking openly down the corridor, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
You
think
doing
so.
anything to protect yourself against the antibodies, which might be about?
I think just being vigilant, trying to listen for the noise, trying to kind of watch our six. Yeah.
Cool. And not entirely unconnected with what Terrance is just doing. For a while, you'll just hear this distant whirring, and then you will hear this sort of very advanced whirring, and it sounds as though they're. Well, actually, let's step it up a bit. Let's. There will be whirring sort of above and below you as well, and this sound of sort of crashing, as though they're actually sort of distant at the moment, but as though they're actually sort of plowing their way through walls and ceilings.
Ooh, and we're on top, right? So I think the one from above is disconcerting.
Sorry.
We're heading.
Yeah, sorry. Don't worry about the above.
Okay.
From either side and below. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I think picking up the pace, not running, but not trying to make noise or draw attention, but definitely picking up the pace.
Yeah.
I think Mira's straddling somewhere between like her nervous system kicking into fight or flight. But then there's something with her change in the conversation that she's recently had with Deanna that is getting suppressed, and she's actually not as afraid of the antibodies as she originally was. So I think when she hears that whirring, regardless of the speed or the directionality, it's almost like for Bridgett, it'd be like if I heard a dog barking outside. It'd be like, oh, that's curious. Let me see if I can see it. Nope, okay, and then move on about my day. She's getting more comfortable with the idea that maybe they won't actually hurt her.
Yeah, that's nice, actually. I like that. Okay, cool. Well, give me a roll to get to... I mean, you're trying to get to the server room, right?
Yeah.
Give me a roll to do that before something smashes through a wall.
So she's going to put her hand on Marius's shoulder. She's like, wait, hold on just a second.
Yeah.
And then she is going to ping Diana. Hey, we're here.
Okay, let's do this. Yeah.
We're here.
And you've come home, right?
I know, we're on the front porch. You just have to let us in.
And you've forgotten anything else that you might have thought before?
Is that Graham asking me that question or Diana?
This is actually Diana asking you this question.
I don't know, but I trust you.
You need to be certain.
And there's still something crashing towards you.
That fight or flight is kicking in. She's going into red, but...
I can make you sure.
Then take me the rest of the way.
Okay.
Well, and I think she'll say...
Come to me.
And yeah, okay. At that point, the whirring will stop, and you can just walk and go up to the server room if you like.
She just breathes in relief.
How did you do that?
I really hate to agree with Dr. Drummond. You have no idea how much it pains me, but maybe he is right. I think she does want to help us. I think she is here to help us. We're not taking her offline, Marius.
No, of course we're not. I have an idea.
Okay. And she hugs him.
All right. Sorry, Marius, I didn't do much with you there.
That's okay.
Anything else? Yeah.
No, I think his designs are all on the server room. Once they get inside, what's he going to do to pretend to shut the system down?
Terrance, you're in a big laboratory, and it's up against the wall of the ship. You can see these sort of big transparent screens. Just looking out into space, you can see the glitch out there.
Okay, he's leaving a trail of blood behind him and limping a bit, leaning on every surface he can, looks around and says, is anyone here?
There is no reply to that.
Shit. Well, the first thing is to quickly grab some medical supplies and try to staunch the bleeding.
That's fine. Let's just let that happen. Yeah.
And then quickly scan around the laboratory and just see whether anyone was doing any work here, or was Depeche imagining maybe there was no daughter. Maybe that's just another false memory.
And you look around, but no, there is. Someone has obviously set a lab bench up and was doing some work, and there is a corpse there as well.
I'll kneel down and check the corpse. Does it look like they were killed by an antibody?
Yeah. Yeah, so bored through with the sort of metal spikes. And at this point, we're going to imagine that, let's say you've sort of sealed yourself into the laboratory, you've sort of shut a door behind you, and there will be this sort of frantic whirring outside. So let's just imagine the antibodies sort of trying to find a way in some sense.
Okay, I am very quickly, because I'm conscious of the antibody outside, going to try to work out what the hell they were researching.
Yay! Give me a roll. I so hoped you'd do this.
Can I bring my medical die into this as well?
Yeah.
Again, I see no reason to bring my change die in, so I will.
Nice.
And I rolled a 6 on my medical die.
Ooh.
Yeah. So this is brilliant, Scott. Right, and suddenly you see exactly how this has to happen. You should have seen this yourself. To kill an antibody, you introduce something foreign into the antibody, that it destroys itself. And all over the bench are these little alien samples, samples of sort of... they're actually sort of little golden threads. Maybe, if you look at them under a microscope, maybe related to the orchids that you saw on the last world, but little golden alien plants. And just in your mind, she didn't quite complete the research, but you can see how you could kind of put these into a capsule and just fire it or throw it in an antibody.
Yeah, or even a test tube.
Yeah.
In suspension, yeah. Right. I will start work on trying to do exactly that. Just not that I believe my esteemed colleagues will fail in their task, but I just want to put a contingency in there in case they do screw the pooch.
I tell you what, just on that 6, what I want is that as you're doing that, I think one of the little golden threads is just going to work its way under your fingernail. You're not going to notice it, but we're going to notice that. Is that okay?
Nice. Oh, I like that.
Cool. Okay, what are we doing in the server room? So here you are in the server room. You go up a ladder. There's a big dome. Oh, yeah, go on.
Oh, I think that my system's approach to this shutdown is that I want to do something like create a dummy system so that it looks like I've shut down the computer. But if I can transfer kind of the information and even the kind of mechanical workings of the system to my personal device or a secondary device, I can keep it alive, but not through the same server where it's running today.
Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so what, you're transferring Diana into a sort of air-gapped box or something today?
Exactly, so that if someone like Dr. Drummond looked, it would look like I took it offline, but she's still alive through the secondary system.
That's good. Diana's going to talk. Did you want to do anything there, or Diana can do some talking to you?
Yeah, Diana, because she's going to ask her, like, is that okay?
Oh, yeah, I will have communicated this to Mir since she seems to want the same end that I do.
So just clarifying, almost asking Diana for consent. Is this okay?
Oh, so what are you're asking Diana if you can put her in a box? Why would she want to be in an air-gap box?
Out of game, just make sure I have clarity. Cupp, you're doing this basically to protect her, right?
Yes.
This is like you're pulling her off the shelf, so she's not on this shelf, she's on another one. But if Drummond looks at the computer, why are we out of game? Why are we worried about Drummond? Let's just kill him.
Well, yeah, but this is for the whole crew, right? This is for everybody. I think deep down, though, Marius kind of wants control of Diana in a sense.
Oh, I love it.
He wants to run that system.
All right, that sounds really good. Tell you what I'd like to happen, if you don't mind. So I want to continue the conversation Diana was having with Mir about memories. And can we just imagine that Marius is starting to set up his system in the background? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's getting his empty box ready or whatever to transfer him. And Diana goes,
Hello, Mia.
Hi, Diana. We're home.
and you can feel her probing at your memory, almost as if some of your old memories are coming a bit more loose.
She doesn't resist. It's full surrender.
Oh, wow. Okay. So at that point, the memory of Dylan, she will, I mean, I'll give you the option to say no to this and resist, but she will just take that from you. Him inviting you to play, you'll just feel that receding from your mind.
Before they arrived on Transparency, she was very intentional about keeping everything she could about Dylan. It grounded her.
Okay.
She realizes now that maybe that's not the best approach.
Yeah.
She lets it go.
And then those memories of, like, Carly. How do you feel about Carly now as Mia sort of thinks about this sort of place that she just half remembers?
Can I slide a question in for Diana before answering that
Absolutely. Yeah.
question? Was he right? What Dr. Drummond said? Something bad happened here. Are you actually just doing what you can to make it not as present?
And there's a pause and you realize that you oh, well, give me a roll, actually. Yeah, give me a roll to...
That's not what I wanted you to say, Graham. That's not what I wanted, babe. Not at all. You just want a straight D6?
Yeah. And well, you can add your change roll if you like. Change die,
Always
if you like.
and forever. 6 on the change dice.
Okay. And I think as at this moment, as Diana is reaching into your mind, you can sort of understand what's going on in hers. And yeah, so, you know, the Transparency was going to terraform this planet. It crushed by the glitch, and Diana is just trying to make things okay and sort of in the way of systematically removing people's memories and trying to make it okay and killing anyone that remembers funny things.
You did a really good job with what was the planet? Charlie? Kali?
Don't worry about that.
And you can just feel the memory of Carly just going away from you. And all you can remember now is your very happy childhood on the Transparency.
It was actually a good childhood too.
Yeah.
I think she's just going to sit down. She's going to sit down. She's going to put her back against whatever main computer she's in. And she is just going to look at Marius and wonder, like, I don't know if this is the best direction for us. And then I'm going to roll this change die for this 6 I just hit. Whoo, but she maintains.
That sounds good. Marius, right, we're doing system stuff.
Yeah. So I was going to try to kind of swap the computer out, create a dummy system, move Diana into a different box, and then kind of keep that one as a personal device.
That's good with me. I mean, do you just want to... it is interesting if you fail it, isn't it? So, yeah, give me a roll to do. Are we just going to... do this like while she's distracted? You're not going to persuade her to get in a box or anything?
No, I wasn't going to... While Mir's talking to Diana would be the best time to do this.
Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, cool. All right. So give me a roll to put Diana in a box.
Okay. I'll roll my change even though I'm at risk of dying. If I
am rolling against you.
As am I.
Oh no. 4 is my highest.
2 is my failure die.
I got a 1 on my failure die.
Oh, wow. Right. So I have a 4 on my change die.
So yeah, so as Mia kind of slumps down against the wall and a sort of last memory of Carly is taken from her, Diana slides into a box.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you're monitoring,
terrible.
You know, you can. There is agitation and it's like terror and a feeling of loss that she's not doing her duty anymore. She's not you know,
Yeah.
yeah. She can't take care of the ship. This sort of terror that she can't make things right anymore. But there you are. You have her in the box.
Can I talk to her?
Sure. Although suddenly there is a lot of whining and whirring all at once from these antibodies, which now are not controlled.
Diana, can you help me stop them?
I'm contained.
Of course you are.
Terrance, can we go to the laboratory? So yes, suddenly every antibody will kind of whine and, you know, rush at you three. There is an antibody charging right down the corridor. It's going to sort of smash through a laboratory wall. What would you like to do?
Terrance, for all his cold-bloodedness, is not a man of action. So I think he's going to stand there frozen while this is happening, trying to work out what the hell to do. But he's got this test tube in his hand with this suspension with these golden threads in there. And
okay, yeah.
He's just going to, for want of anything better to do, wait for the thing to smash through the door and then desperately throw the test tube at it.
That sounds good with me. It is interesting if you fail as well, although I kind of want you to succeed. So give me a roll.
Okay. I am going to bring my change die into this. I don't think being a medic is going to help me with this, even though I am effectively inoculating it. But I rolled a 6 and not on my change die.
That's amazing. So I mean, you will throw the golden thread into the antibody, and it will sort of dissolve in front of you. And the faces of these dead employees that have been flowing over the antibody will kind of morph, and it will just become this kind of puddle of liquid. And then there's this continued whining as other antibodies from out the ship kind of crash through walls towards you.
Okay.
There are escape shuttles. I'm just saying there's escape shuttles.
Yeah. There's that, or how much of this golden thread stuff is there?
There's quite a bit. You could, I mean, you could try and take some.
I'm going to get on comms, and say, Bishop, you know the layout of this ship. Is there a water-based fire suppression system?
Yeah, of course there is, but it's going to be in the
Can you
the
get
cargo
me access
bay
to it if I want? Well, that's no bloody use, is it? Right. All right.
Well, I can try to. I took the computer offline, but I can try to tap you into the system.
Can you do it quickly? If I were to introduce a contaminant into it from the laboratory here, would you be able to spread it quickly throughout the system and spray it?
Yeah, that's just the control box. I think if we could kind of remotely control that, we could do something. What is it you're trying to do?
And Marius, there was this whining and whirring of things coming through the ship directly.
Destroy the
crashing through walls.
What I'm trying to do is destroy the antibodies before they destroy us.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I'm not sure you can just sit there and hack a computer. You're going to have to move. I mean, you can as long as you don't mind dying as you do it, you know. But
yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, that's not going to be possible. Can I talk to Diana as we run?
You can talk to Diana, sure.
Diana, do you want me to reconnect you remotely? Is there a way for me to get you access to the system again? We need a virus. We need something to control the antibodies.
You going to give me back my ship?
Diana, what's my mother's name?
Oh, and she'll say, I forgot the name you said. Mary, what was it?
Marius.
Marius.
Can we just go to Mia just for a moment? Mia, what are you doing? There are things rushing at you.
There's a lot of things rushing at me right now, fucking Graham. I think the important thing is when Diana is now in this new box, is she open to the comms, or is it now one way between her and Marius? Am I overhearing any of this? Is the big one.
I quite like the idea that now it's one way between him and Marius because he's got her in a box.
And then I don't want to, because so much happened, my nervous system was in the red. Do I know that she's in a box?
You probably, I don't know if you do, to be honest. I mean, you may just be realizing it if you want. I'm not sure you explained the plan because.
Yeah, because he was in the background doing it. So.
Yeah.
Marius, where are you going? They won't hurt us. They won't hurt us.
Don't you hear them? Of course they're going to hurt us.
No, she would.
Diana, is Carly real?
Wait, you're talking to Diana? How are you talking to Diana?
Ignoring Mir for the moment.
I think Diana's just going to let you stew in that. She doesn't want to answer your questions at the moment. You've just
okay, so Diana's kind of upset that I've done this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think?
No, that's fine. So I think, would it be possible for me to lower my change score if I destroy the box?
Yes. Absolutely.
Because I didn't I wanted to hear Crystal. I wanted to believe that Crystal's my mother. My mother's alive. There's hope. That 3-year pain never happened. Just that whole process. So what I'm going to try to do, and I think I'm going to kind of disregard Mir while I do this, is just try to smash the secondary box on the ground in front of her.
Mir, so he's going to smash a box. Are you going to do anything about that, or?
I don't want to metagame it because I don't know that she's in that box.
No, that's good with me. I mean, these things are getting close to you now. So what's going to happen is you're going to smash it and something's going to smash through the floor at you.
Yeah.
Unless you want to run somewhere and do this.
I do think it's possible that I'm having an argument with Diana as I look like I'm getting ready to destroy this thing. So it might be possible for Mir to detect that I'm destroying Diana. Yeah, because I'm like, no, fuck you. Tell me if Carly's real, Diana.
So now that I realize I can't talk to her, but he's talking to the box, she would attempt to intervene.
Shaking the box. Answer me!
Okay. She's going after the box.
Okay, that's good. Make a competitive roll to see what happens. But again, if you go for this, the next thing that's going to happen is the antibody is going to smash right through, and I mean, it won't kill you both immediately, but you'll be in a lot of trouble. So
yeah.
Unless we can get Mom back. Mom will tell him to sit down. It's just a solid D6?
It's whatever you want to roll. So it's employee die, specialism die if it comes into it, change die if you want.
She rolled a 5 and a 3.
Okay.
I rolled a 6 on my ordinary.
Okay, that's brilliant. Bridgett, if you want to re-roll, you can.
Yeah, this is a life or death situation right now. Oh God, she can't believe he took her offline in the first place.
I think the way Marius described it to Mir was that he was going to move Diana to another box that was still connected to the ship. But what he did was isolated
Put
Diana.
her on a flash drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. Fuck. Okay. So this is a 2-1-5. It's still not beating Marius, but the 5 is on her change dice.
Yeah. This is why the rules work like this.
Oh, it's so delicious. I love this damn set. So is this automatic increase or do I roll an insight?
You now roll in. You roll changed. Yeah.
Listen, we're holding hard and steady at this 4, honey. She rolled a 1.
All right.
So are we leaving it there? So I think Diana is just going to smash on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Great. Well, so Diana's going to smash on the floor, leaving you, Marius, with your very conflicted memories, and Mia with your not very conflicted memories of growing up on board the Transparency. Yeah. At which point, an antibody is going to, let's have it actually smashing through the floor, smashing through the ceiling, going out into space. You two are wearing suits, so you're not going to just, die immediately. But the pressure will all go out, and you will be left grabbing onto whatever you can get with this antibody in space, about to turn around and come and have another go.
Nice.
Wow.
Cool. Let's go to Terrance for a moment. So Terrance, you're in a you were about having a conversation which sounded quite productive, and then it's cut off.
I think with the conversation cutting off, there's just this. Oh, not again! Idiots! They're idiots! And I think realizing that shit is fucked, Terrance is just going to leg it for the escape shuttles. There's no way he's going to be able to fight himself out. There's no way he's going to be able to fight his way out from this. Mm-hmm. His support seems to have gone offline. If he doesn't save himself, no one else will.
This is good with me. So give me a roll to... So at this point, the antibodies will crash through the floor, heading directly for you. So give me a roll to avoid them or whatever you're going to do.
Okay.
Failure die here.
I am going to bring my change die into this as well, because...
I'm rolling really badly.
I rolled a 5 on my change die, which is the high one.
Yeah. Yeah, which is fine. Well, a 5, you get something extra as well. So do you want to grab a little bit of that alien material you were looking at?
Absolutely. Yes.
Fantastic.
I mean, apart from the bit that I seem to have absorbed into my own body unknowingly, but yes.
Yeah. And so you'll run to the escape shuttles. The corridor will sort of literally displace itself as it, as the floor below is crushed, and so the corridor kind of falls down. But you scramble up and make yourself to escape shuttles, and you're there.
Okay. By the way, because I rolled high on my change die, I did make a change roll there as well, and I rolled a 1.
Of course.
It just wanted to let everyone know that.
Yes.
No, yeah, it's fine.
This is Terrance being entirely unfazed by the stress of the situation.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to suspect at this stage that Terrance just doesn't have adrenal glands or something. Yeah.
Oh, it's actually Terrance. Let's have you in the escape pod, and you will see Mia and Marius. But the server room is smashed, and you'll see at least one of them sort of clinging on and trying not to get sucked out into space. And an antibody hovering around in a threatening way.
Oh, which one?
Let's have Marius as his sort of smash box floats out into space.
So Marius is floating out into space, and Mia is holding on.
Yes. Okay. Not floating. It's sort of grabbing on and trying to avoid floating out into space. Yeah.
Well, Mia isn't the one who just let me down and left me to die, so I'll try to save her.
How do you know that something didn't happen outside of my control?
Because I was on the comms with you and you blanked me. So what kind of facility is there on board the escape pod for sending out a safety line, or the equivalent of the equivalent of a life belt out to
okay. So there is some. I like the idea of a safety line or a sort of docking anchor or something, because the escape shuttle is equipped to sort of dock if it absolutely desperately needs to. So yeah, there is something like that you could repurpose if you wanted to.
Okay, in which case I am going to try my damnedest to eject it in the general direction of Mir.
Well, let's do for that, and then we can work out what happens to Marius.
Yeah, I'm less bothered about that.
All right, so let's roll.
Let me start making my character
For next time already.
Let's roll to fire something out towards Mir.
Okay, and again, I'm going to bring my change die into this.
I don't know if I'm rolling against you to fail, because I kind of just want you to succeed here.
Okay, I've rolled a 4 on my change die, which is my high one.
Yeah. So make a change roll, but yeah. So near this safety line will come out near you. Have you rolled a 1 on your
I
chart?
rolled a 1 on my change die.
You son of a bitch.
Fucking Scott. Ridiculous.
Okay. So yeah, shoot out the line towards Mia and hope she grabs onto it. I'm not going to wait around for too long if she doesn't, but I'm giving her the chance.
Mia, so there's a line for you to grab if you want it.
I think there's going to have to be a very intentional beat. And she's like looking up. It's like, did he really fire an anchor down my... Is he actually making any effort whatsoever to save a human life? Was I wrong? We'll unpack that one later.
Wait, that fucker's firing at me. Oh, no, wait.
He missed.
Yeah, you missed.
Oh, that's for Oh, thanks. Yeah, no, she's gonna grab hold on it because at this point, from what I'm understanding from the narrative, there's a breach in the hull. More of the antibodies are coming to attack, and Diana, to my best ability, is gone. The only option she has right now is to flee, is to escape. So she is going to detach that cord if she can and attach it to her suit.
How far am I from this cord?
Do you want to try and grab it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's try. And so Mia, you will start with, unless you want to grab onto like Mia's suit or something, because that could be fun as well.
Basically, I'm going to start winching this in as soon as Mia's lying.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna try to reach for like a pant leg of Mia's suit.
Okay, well, give me a roll. It will be so much fun if you fail, so I'm rolling against you.
Okay.
Now my good rolls come out. Excellent.
Oh, no. I have a 3 as my highest.
Okay, so I have a 5. I mean, you can re-roll.
Jesus Christ. But if I roll a 6, that's going to be a problem for me, too. Let's see.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Scott?
Oh, no. Sorry.
I'll re-roll.
Okay.
And I got a 5 this time on my ordinary
that's
dice.
A tie, isn't it? So can we narrate that? So let's make that enough for you to get away from the ship. So do you mind if I just sort of move to narrating an ending here? Is that okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, so what we might have is Mia being taken into the shuttle, and you two can fire off to be eventually picked up by the exchange. Marius, I quite like the idea that you don't make it to the shuttle, but you by grabbing at Mia, you get far enough from the transparency that you're kind of left floating in space, watching the transparency being torn apart by these sort of things coming in and out of it, smashing it completely to pieces. And we'll have you sort of floating for 24, 48 hours until eventually the exchange will come and pick you up. Does that work for you?
Good, that works. Yeah.
Cool. Terrance, Mia, any last thoughts on board the shuttle?
I think once Terrance has got Mia safely on board, he goes back to piloting the shuttle, but without looking at Mia, just says, when we get back to the exchange, if you're speaking to me again, maybe you can tell me what exactly happened there.
And I think while Terrance is fiddling around with this, she is going to hug him and kiss him on the forehead from like behind, but it's in a suit, so it's not like there's actually any physical contact. I think when we get back to the exchange, I am going to get on the wait list to get all of this wiped. So if you have questions, we should probably do them now.
Very well. Well, I only really have one question. Was I right?
And she's going to smack the top of that glass helmet as hard as she can. I mean, like slaps it, which is affirmation that yet again, 2 out of 2. Dr. Drummond was right.
And Mia, let's just have a last bit of you just sort of staring out the window of the escape shuttle, which is now speeding away from the transparency, and your home being destroyed, right? This shit, the transparency, which you spent your childhood on, just tearing itself apart.
And if I remember correctly, she has no memory of Kali at all. That's gone, right? That's been excised.
Yeah. Or of Dylan, actually, right?
Yeah, that she surrendered that too.
Yeah. Cool.
You know what? I'm going to roll an insight, or I'm going to roll a change just to see how she's... They were dead when we arrived. This is a mercy. Shut up, Scott. I don't even appreciate the fact that you're enjoying that moment on her behalf. I hate that you enjoyed that on her behalf. We're both so irritated with you. But with the 3 under her current 4, that's how she reconciles it. They were dead upon arrival. This is a mercy.
Nice.
Diana did what she could.
Right. Okay. Back on board the exchange, everyone. So, firstly, do you need any surgery?
Yes, please.
If you need surgery, make a burnout roll. Can you remember what your burnout was from the start? I should have.
I do.
That.
It's a 2.
Okay. Okay,
I'm
so
thinking I'll let them go first.
But surgery can also be putting your memories back right.
Yeah.
So really, with the exception of Terrance, I think you probably all need that.
Yeah. My only question is, how much direction can we give them on fixing our memories?
Oh yeah, what would you like?
So I think what happened after they rescued Bishop is that it was worse than he thought. All he remembered of Marius was the death. He didn't have any of the good memories from early childhood. So he's going to he needs to get rid of that. I don't know if that's going to put him in the same state as Mir, where all he remembers is the transparency, but now that's gone too. So I feel like he needs to give up one of them.
I'd like you to, because I want to keep using Carly. So I'd like.
Okay,
you to,
good.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna actually, despite everything he did, he's gonna try to hang on to Carly because the transparency was destroyed, and he'd rather have a shitty childhood than nothing, right? So he realizes he's gonna have to kind of recope with his mother's death, but that's better than what happened to the transparency.
That's good. So make me a surgery roll. Mia, I mean, what about your memories? I mean, how much would you like back? I like the idea that, can we say Dylan is gone forever? Because that's painful.
That hurts.
Yeah. I rolled a 5, by the way.
Up you go.
So burnout goes to 2. Is that how that works?
Yes. Yeah.
You know what, Graham? I think she wants to maintain exactly where she is.
Okay.
Kali is gone. Dylan is gone. She remembers this last mission.
Okay.
And she remembers the kindness that Diana tried to show them.
That's really good with me. Yeah, I can see us messing with that in the future, but I love that for the moment. So yeah, I think you still so actually have you done a surgery roll?
I have. She went up. Her burnout is currently at 3.
3. Excellent. Okay. And Terrance, are you doing surgery or you're not?
Terrance certainly doesn't feel the need for any mental surgery, but I guess part of it is going to come down to, I assume we have medical checks when we come back.
They don't detect that.
They don't.
Oh, he tried.
In which case, oh no, I mean, the thing is that,
I love it.
I mean, even if Terrance did detect that it was there, I don't think he'd have it removed. I think he'd be more interested in seeing what happened.
Oh, let's make that explicit then. Let's have him sort of looking in the mirror one night and sort of seeing one of the little golden threads just lodged inside his eye now, I think.
In which case, you just get a scene of Terrance leaning forward, opening up his eyes with his finger a bit more, looking in the mirror and just going, fascinating.
Amazing. So that was the surgery roll. And does anyone distrust Extractor?
Can I clarify my memory change before I decide if I trust Extractor? Do I completely forget everything that happened on the transparency?
I don't know. Do you want to?
I think so, but I think he's also going to be confused because he has some kind of remnant code that he used to transfer Diana. So he's got this record of Diana kind of in his suit device, but he doesn't have any memory of the transparency itself.
That's good. Okay. Well, if anyone does distrust Extractor, give me a roll.
No, Terrance certainly doesn't.
Okay.
Good. You're right.
Yeah, I haven't had a mission in a long time.
Computers are our friends. They know what's best.
Fantastic. Good. Let's not think too much about the fact that Extractor programmed Diana to do everything she did. But anyway, let's leave it. I think that's kind of, unless you particularly want to do sort of downtime scenes on the ship. I mean, I think that's all we need to do, right?